Well, welcome back to the channel again. We'll just keep going with the United States Constitution. We are on Article 5. And it looks like Article 5 just has one section. So let's just get this cranked out, huh? Article 5 of the United States Constitution. Congress, whenever 2/3 of both houses shall deem it necessary, shall propose amendments to the Constitution, or on the application of the legislation of 2/3 of several states, shall call a convention for proposing amendments, which in either case shall be valid to all intents and purpose. As part of this Constitution was ratified by the legislation of 3/4 of the several states, or by convention in 3/4 thereof, as the one or the other modes of ratification may be proposed by the Congress, provided that no amendment which may be made prior to the 1 year 1880 shall in any manner affect the first and fourth clause in the 9th section of the first article, and that no state without its consent shall be deprived of its equal suffrage in the Senate. So let's get the explanation from the author here. We treat the framers as well knowing, but they fully acknowledge that the plan they created was forged by compromise and far from perfect. With time there would have to be adjustment. The Article of Confederation had failed to provide workable system to change. The new Constitution, by contrast, would provide alternate paths for amendments should one path or others prove inadequate. Either 2/3 of both the Senate and the House of Representatives can propose an amendment, or 2/3 of the state legislations can call for a national convention for the proposing one or more amendments. Fearing that either Congress or state legislation might resist change, the framers allowed either group to initiate the process. The framers also allowed for alternative methods of approval. If Congress suspected that the state legislation will oppose needed changes, it could appeal to the people through state conventions. Although the need for unanimous approval had been proved unworkable, the framers created a high hurdle for ratification where everywhere else, when they required supermajority, they placed the threshold at 2/3, or 67%. That was the number of the Senate's ratifications of the treaty, a congressional overruled, and a presidential veto, and to initiate the amendment process. But to alter the fundamental structure of the government, they demand ratification of 3/4, 75% of the states. Today, if Congress does not propose an amendment, 34 of the 50 states must agree to call for a national convention, and then 38 of the 50 states must ratify any amendments that the convention proposes. In a sharply bureaucratic political environment, these hurdles are extremely difficult to clear. If an amendment is perceived as giving either side even the slightest advantage, the other side will be able to kill it. Difficult, but not impossible. 28 states have called for a national convention to consider an amendment requiring balanced federal budget every year. Republicans, who generally support the measure, currently control 31 state assemblies and are within reach of 34 states needed to call a convention. But then the extreme supermajority kicks in, with 38 states required for ratification. It would take only 13 states to defeat the amendment. Meanwhile, progressive Democrats are pushing for amendments that would overturn the Supreme Court's decision in the Citizen United versus Fick, which threw out limits on campaign finance and even further denied corporations the rights of people, which by hotly contested interpretation of the 14th Amendment, corporations currently enjoy this movement because it proposed to limit the influence of money in politics. Will face a greater obstacle yet: stiff resistance from money-eyed interests that currently do influence politics. And that was Article 5 of the United States Constitution. Article 5. So if you have any questions or concerns, go ahead and put them down in the comments below and we'll start a discussion. But until then, keep reading, keep learning, educate yourself, and God bless. Take care.